All right, you guys, here we go. Thank you for tuning in to The Barber's Eye. Check me out on Instagram on I Have Your Barber. And thank you for checking out The Barber's Eye on YouTube. So let's get started, man. So here we go. This is what it is, man. Barbering is as simple or as difficult as you want to make it, man. So when I say simple, I mean like over time of cutting hair, eventually you're gonna feel more and more at ease. In the beginning, when you're even 5 years in, you might still be nervous. 7 years in, you still might be nervous when people sit down, and you got those jitters, and it happens. But over years of time experience, it's gonna become easy peasy. All right, so let me break it down what I'm doing. So basically, he comes in. My guy right here, he doesn't like it too short on the sides, a half on the sides, and then we fade it into half to a 1, and then we blend it all in. So like I said, cuts, man, typically don't really have rules. You just go in and there's steps. Everything has steps, right? But you create those how you want to do it. I could cut the top on the top first, and I could give them a lineup first. I could do whatever I want. But when you know the cut, you know the cut. When you know your customer, you know your customer. That's why it's important to build relationships with your customers and to have those long-term people that come in, because they have an easier time with you and you have an easier time with them. So, and then you know what they want. You know what I mean? You can start whenever you want. So I know how to cut his hair. I've been cutting his hair for a couple of years now, so it's easy. So it looks funky right now, but all that's going to be cleaned up, and all this is going to be just blended in, faded. It looks scary right now. I had a lady sitting down watching her husband get a haircut one time, and she even said I'm freaked out because it looks so bad. I'm like, relax, lady. Let a man do his job. Let me get the job done, and then you'll see the after work. Let me clean my room first, and then you'll see the cleanliness after. But but seriously, she was she admitted, she was like, oh my God, this is gonna be bad. But I mean, there's a process. You know what I'm saying? So I start my guideline. Wasn't perfect. It's all good. Blend it all out anyways. And then this one, I'm blending in the side, the taper here. And then when I blend this taper in, line it up on the sides and go from there. So I'm going closer as I get lower. And then I'm clicking it, checking it, clicking it, checking it. It's just simple, you know what I mean? Always, again, you'll see me on other videos. This is never going to be something I'm not going to do. Always brush your work. Always use a new brush on your client and brush your work. So when you spray your clippers and you spray your on every client, before every client, and between every client, and you spray your brush, or you spray all your tools, you have a clean canvas on each client, you know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about spreading anything, because you gave it the necessary time for the chemicals to work, and you give it the time to in between clients, so your disinfectant could kill any type of germs, you know what I mean? So again, I'm lining them up now, going on each side, lining them up. He likes a close taper on the back, so that's what I'm going to do. Keep it fairly in the middle, low, so he has a lot of thick hair. As you can see, he has really good hair on top, man, really thick, coarse hair. So it takes a little bit more work to clean everything up, to get everything cut, basically. But like I said, keep a clean canvas. Always, people with COVID going on, people still, they still wear masks. I still wear masks, obviously, you know what I mean? But you work around it. It's not too difficult. At the end, I'll get rid of those little hairs that's sticking out from the mask, you know what I mean? So right here, clipper over comb. I love using clipper over comb because you could see everything you cut. You know exactly what you're cutting. There's no guessing with the clipper over comb. So I put it at an angle and pull it out just a little bit. I'm getting all the excess hair that's sticking out. I don't want to cut it too deep. I don't want to go too far, because that's going to be too much. Basically, what I'm trying to do is just blend in anything that's sticking out from the sides. I know as I'm going over the hair, I'm brushing it down just a little bit, and then that allows me to see what's sticking out. So as I'm working, I'm moving. Again, this haircut literally takes me about 21 minutes, 22 minutes, but I take my time, and just because someone's fast at cutting hair doesn't necessarily mean they're bad at cutting hair. Like my goal was to be quick, not too quick. Now I'm not, speeding them out here. I take my time, but I'm not rushing people out of my chair. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see me, I'm just cutting, man. Me and him are talking. You can't see our face moving, but we're chopping it up. Like I said, barbering is one of those hands-on type of jobs, man. I love it because I'm cutting, I'm calm, I'm not all anxious, I'm not worried about the outcome because I know what the outcome is going to be. I'm doing my job, and he knows I'm doing my job. He's comfortable. He's not all nervous. I mean, we're not even talking about hair cutting at all. We're just talking about life and things to do. So, and in my mind, I'm flowing, man. I'm in that flow state. I mentioned this in my other video. If you've seen, once you're in that flow state of mind, man, it's a good place to be in. So as you can see already on this side, it's blending in. You know what I mean? You're blending from dark to light, and then you're gonna have like the middle spots, but we can go over that after. So I haven't even begun to fade in that original line that I made, but I just want to go on the sides, clean up anything that's sticking out right here. So I'm gonna throw number 1 on the side, and then I'm gonna blend it out. So again, I'm always using a C cup type of movement, going in from the side, getting the C cup, cleaning it up, not going in deep, because if not, you're gonna create another line, and then you're gonna be forced to make that fade higher, which some of your clients want, some of you, they don't. He doesn't want a high fade. He just wants a mid fade, blended in from a half to a 1. So I know I'm not gonna go deep in there and try to dig it all up in his hair. I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So again, I'm just working on fading that line out, fading it in, going in there at an angle, staying low to mid, because that's where I'm working on right there. And you're gonna see, what I'm doing right there. And again, you'll get those people in your chair who have really good hair to cut, and you'll get some people in that have a little bit more challenging hair to cut, a little bit challenging to blend. Everything you see on Instagram and all this, these videos, not everybody shows the hard stuff, and I get it. It is what it is. But anyways, I don't want to go no rant. Stay on the cut. So I'm just blending here, blending a little bit there. My eyes on everything I need to do. So I'm, like I said, man, just blending. This is the part where you're focused on the blend, not necessarily the top yet, because we haven't got there yet. You know what I mean? So, and I already lined up the sides, so I don't have to worry about that. Combing it, and there's pretty sure there's some spots that I seen that I'm like, okay, let me blend this in more, let me blend this in more. So that's why you'll see me going over with the clip over comb. Now, some barbers that you may know, and this is okay, this is everybody's perspective. That's what's beautiful about the barber industry. Now, some people say, if you're going over doing the same thing over again, you're wasting time. I don't believe that. Sometimes you need to go over something twice and whatever, you know what I mean? Like I said, it takes me 20-something minutes to get this haircut done. A lot of barbers will take them an hour, 45 minutes, you know what I mean? But that's just the way I roll. That's the way I've created my way of working. And I still have time to go over stuff, you know what I mean? I still have time to go over things that I feel like needs to be cleaned up more or blended more. And that's part of having a barber's eye, you know what I mean? You be able to recognize that stuff. Recognize those things that you missed, time and the energy that you're putting out, you know what I mean? All goes into one. So again, now I'm freestyling right here. This is barbers that I've learned from, that I had the pleasure of learning from, and taught me this. In my first barber, Diego, he's the one that taught me how to freehand like this. He's really big on freehanding, and I am now. Now that I've been in this industry for so long, it's a part of my way of working, man. I get the clippers, I see something, and then I'm able to use my measurement of how deep I want to go with the clippers, you know what I mean? And I feel comfortable doing it, you know what I mean? I keep probably even doing it with my eyes closed or blindfolded. Psych. That was a joke, guys. I'm not that confident on that one. But yeah, once you know what you're doing, you know what you're doing. So now I'm going over the top with some water. I'm going to clean up the top. He doesn't want real low. He just wants it cleaned up and blended in. Like, his hair is really thick, and he understands how thick his hair is. You know what I mean? He knows it. So he likes to comb to the side, kind of comb it over to the side. So I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna look at how much I'm cutting. So when I first started cutting his hair, I had to show him what I'm about to do now. Okay? So I always do this, and you guys could do this too, especially if you're in the barber industry. You show that person how much they want, how much they think, because once they see that, they know that they told you to do that. A lot of barbers have a tendency in going in and cutting what they want. Unless your client says do what you think is good, then you do what you think is good. But I make sure that I ask the client, I show them through the mirror, because I want them to see that I'm doing exactly what they asked me to. So that's a big thing for me, and that seems to be helpful in my career so far. So yeah, you could take that if you want to. So again, I started my guideline. I'm going to the side, going over here to the angle right here, on the side of the angle right here, and I'm gonna connect it. You know what I mean? I'm not spotty. I don't go from left to right, from back to back. Like, I know my guideline. I can see my guideline. I pay attention to it, and it's easy to follow once you make your guideline. I remember watching Diego and watching him cut people's hair, and he's just cutting like I am now, and he's cutting, and I'm like, how do you know what you cut? What are you looking at, right? And he tells me, you know, he's showing me the guidelines while he's cutting, and I'm looking at what he's pulling out, and I'm still confused. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna have to go back to college, because I don't know if this is gonna work. But over time, as you cut here, you'll see that guideline, and you'll know exactly what guideline you're looking for. Now, again, with a barber's eye, I can see that guideline, and I can find the guideline in the hair, and know what I'm cutting. You know what I mean? So I don't know what happened here. What was that? That was Dominic. I don't know what he wanted. But my bad, you guys. I didn't know that was in the video. But let's keep it moving. This is live shot, people. But so again, I'm getting the hair. Now I'm double checking it, because I cut it. I already cut it. I already cross section it. Now I'm just going over for anything I missed. Like I said, I'm not going shorter. Remember that. He wants a medium length and enough to comb to the side. So now I'm just kind of doing like an overlook, cleaning it up, checking, cross-checking. And like I said, this type of stuff that I'm doing, man, is not hard. Like, if you have a game plan and know what you're looking for, it's easier. But if you go into a haircut jumping around and trying to figure it out, you're gonna have a hard time, and it's gonna be difficult, and you're gonna get lost, and you don't want to get lost in the haircut, because you're gonna jack everything up. You know what I mean? So again, I'm just cutting now. Again, you know, we're just chilling, man. We're just talking. You know, we're talking about life. We're talking about what we got going on. You know, I'm focusing. And when you're a barber and when you're doing this, you know, you're multitasking all the time. You know what I mean? I think that's why a lot of barbers become great businessmen, because you learn how to multitask. You're talking, you're moving, you're cutting, you're thinking. Everything's working, you know what I mean? And you're working everything. And this is a real hands-on job. So, yeah, you know what I mean? I think it's just one of those good careers. And you know, if you're in barbering or cutting hair in general, you know. And if you're new and you're wondering if this is a good career for long term, oh yeah, yes it is. So I'll get the scissors like you see me now, cut anything that I see that's kind of sticking out. And like I said, you're not cutting length off. What you're doing is basically just cutting anything that's gonna make the hair look frizzy. You know what I mean? You don't want the hair sticking out to look all frizzed up, especially if the person has curly hair, which he does. He has some pretty good curly hair. So you want it to look smooth, uniform, and when he gets home and washes his hair and gets out of the shower, you want him to be able to comb it and still have the same results from in the shop. So again, now I'm just cleaning up. I'm asking him, hey, can you take the side off? And he's like, sure. So he says, F it, I'm gonna take my whole mask off. Forget COVID. No, I'm just playing. So he takes the side off, and then I'm blending in the sides, tapering it a little bit. I don't really do his beard or nothing like that. Sometimes he'll ask to do his beard. Sometimes he will. Some days he'll come in and say, hey, can you do my beard? I go, yeah. Or he'll schedule it on the booking. So I think today's just a haircut for him. So, see me again, combing, brushing. Always, always, always. I'm getting around the ears, real light. I'm doing a C cup around his temple area right there. Going around the ears real light. You don't want to give, I don't know if you guys heard this term before, but white walls. You don't want to give people white walls. It happens, but you want to try to not to do it. You understand what I'm saying? And white walls, if you don't know, comes from the term. I learned this from an OG, a dude that was older. So basically, when you see those old school cars and they got like the white walls on the tires, it's white around the tires. Well, some old school cars have those fat white around the wheels. Well, that's what they mean by white walls. When you go around the air and you cut too much off, or like a big circle, and now it looks like they got white walls around their air lobes. So that's basically what that is, man. If you guys want to know that old school term. So again, what you do on the right, you do on the left. What you do on the left, you do on the right. You want to make sure it's the same on each side. Not everybody has a symmetrical face. I don't. My left side looks different from my right. My right looks different from my left. And I did learn after the years that a lot of barbers, don't understand or don't think about when they're cutting someone's hair. Like, you have to do what you do on the same side, because if you just don't use your mirror, or you don't think about it, or don't check, you're not gonna make it even. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been cutting his hair long enough to know. So that's why. But when I first cut his hair a couple times, I'm looking in the mirror, I'm double checking, and it made me feel uncomfortable too when you stand in front of the person and you look at them in the face, because you gotta look at their eyes. But I mean, do it. It works. So you'll see me right here cleaning up his neckline now. This particular gentleman here does have a lot of hair, and that's okay. But when his hair goes below the area where you're cutting, be courteous to just take people that come in and don't want hair on them after they get a haircut, stop. Like, you're in a barber shop, like, getting a haircut. Like, we can only do so much, you know what I mean? So it's like, if they have a problem with that, big problem, like, I try to do the most for my people, man. I go low for them. That way, if they go home and their girls or wives or whatever they got going on, like, doesn't see that long hair sticking out from the bottom of underneath their shirt. Because believe me, the family will say something. The girlfriend will say something. So, and I go back and just tighten it up. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure I get that low area for him. That way, when I take the apron off him, the cape off him, he doesn't have a bunch of hair. So something to think about, you guys. I mean, it's all about service, man. So I'm gonna go in there again. I'm gonna brush the hair where it's laying, and I'm just gonna double check, man. Double check and just see. So for some of you guys, this may seem redundant and doing it over and over again, but for me, it's necessary, because this is how I check my work. This is what I do, and again, this works for me. And he comes back all the time, so I mean, obviously it's working. But if you don't do that, if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. So I just like to double check, man. I just like to make sure that my stuff is looking good, because when you leave the shop, that person leaves the shop, they're representing your business. So I sprayed a little bit of hairspray in there, brushed it, because when you spray hairspray, the hair lays down better, and anything sticking out, you're gonna be able to see right then and there. So I like using hairspray. It's a tool that I use, and just able to help me see what I missed or see what's sticking out or anything like that. Again, I'm blowing the hair off again. Always blowing the hair off, keeping a clean canvas. And I'm just going, brushing it now for him. Blow drying a little bit. When you blow dry, after you put the hairspray in, it hardens the hair up a little bit, so then you'll definitely get to see what's sticking out. I like combing the hair where the hair flows, because when you comb it to where it flows, it's in its natural state. If you push it against where it's not growing, then it's gonna look weird and funky. But yeah, man, I mean, that's pretty much it. Wait, hold on, I don't think I'm done. So I'm going over the side right here with a freestyle cut right here, just to get anything sticking out. So you'll see me right here cut it, because the hairspray, and after I combed it and dried it, you'll see me go over it right here, because I'm able to get anything I didn't get. So again, man, cleaning it up, clean off his face, make sure there's no hair, and then I'll get some aftershave, throw it on there. There's already alcohol in there, so you know, you want to leave the client smelling good. So if you see the sides right here, we blended it in. You know, he got that uniform look on both sides. He takes a look, it feels good, your client's ready to go, man. Again, thank you guys for checking in, man. Check me out on The Barber's Eye. Check me out on Instagram on Eye of Your Barber. And I appreciate you guys, man. Anything you guys want to know, email me at raylove50@gmail.com, or put the comments down here below. If you want to see any new videos or anything to learn specifically, let me know. All right, you guys, have a good one, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.